Good afternoon, listeners. Today I wanted to discuss a growing problem in our world that occurs all around us and desperately needs to be stopped. Domestic violence happens in an individual's home, generally caused by a spouse or romantic partner that is living together. It was startling for me to learn that physical abuse of this nature occurs in 1/4 to 1/3 of all couples. To be more specific, recent studies have shown that 33% of men and 25% of women have been a part of domestic violence in one way or another. Men, women, and teenagers can all be at risk for domestic violence, regardless of their form of relationship: heterosexual, homosexual, or even parental. Female victims appear to be more widely promoted than men are, which may be due to the stigma men hold of not wanting to seem weak. Another issue to consider is parental abuse. This is abuse that is conducted by a child on their parent. This is less known and talked about, but it is still a very real form of domestic violence. While some may believe that the physical and sexual aspect of domestic violence are the worst, emotional and psychological abuse are still very real and oftentimes even more of a debilitating type of abuse than physical. The psychological damage can have far worse lasting effects than physical abuse. When stuck in an abusive relationship, the victim may feel fearful and trapped for various reasons, including fearing the abuser will hurt them worse for leaving, having nowhere else to go, or not wanting to end the relationship. Children in a household can also be a major factor to not leave. On the other side of the situation, the abuser may have emotional and behavioral instability, an issue called the cycle of violence. The 3 steps in this cycle are the tension before the event, the batterer incident itself, and the apologies. This dangerous cycle can repeat over and over again. Psychologist Donald Dutton researched and discovered that almost 40% of domestic abusers have similar tendencies to borderline personality disorder. Abusers in many cases may enjoy the abuse they are inflicting on their victim, and therefore do not stop. Growing up in an abusive household has also been linked to abusers. So how are we going to prevent this terrible cycle from carrying on? I believe that the state of New Hampshire can do a lot of things to help advocate this growing problem. It is crucial to have easily accessible education about domestic violence, starting early in middle or high school, all the way through college and beyond. The availability of free crisis hotlines, shelters, and the like should also be made easily available to both men and women in an abusive situation. We can only hope that the future brings more knowledge about this terrible cycle of abuse, so we can learn more to help those involved. Thank you very much for your time.